Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us is the 2023 BMW X5 M50i, finished off in mineral white metallic with an MSRP just over $100,000. This is a pretty awesome family SUV. We are going to start off with what powers this M50i. So this has a 4.4 liter twin power turbo V8 paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. Pumps out 523 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque, sent through the xDrive all-wheel drive system, propelling this from 0 to 60 in just under 4 seconds. It has a top speed of 155 miles an hour and a fuel capacity of 21.9 gallons. You'll expect to see 16 miles per gallon in the city, 23 out on the highway. Let's get into the exterior styling now for this X5. So this has the massive kidney grille finished off in gloss black, forward-facing camera, all the sensors, all of the LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with a really nice housing and plenty of cutouts to provide a lot of cooling and aerodynamics for this SUV. This has great lines coming down the hood too, meeting the top of that grille very, very nicely. Now for this M50i, this gets a set of 22-inch wheels, along with having the blue calipers. Two-tone design too gives it a great style. This has two-tone for the side mirrors as well. There's a camera, integrated turn signal, full moonroof, more gloss black for the roof racks and the window trim. I think it has a great side design to it. There's some trim pieces just behind the front tires, along with some great lines in that lower side skirt. And then for the rear, this has the body colored spoiler, integrated third brake light, more gloss black. It has a camera, all the sensors. There's a dark housing to the taillights, which is nice to see, and some gray separating the body color diffuser just to give it more of an accent. The dual exhaust is on each side. This can also tow right around 6,600 pounds. So very impressive, but let's hear that dual exhaust. So you can actually remote start this on the key fob. And you can also remote start to shut it off. So it's a nice feature to have whether you need to do either of those. This has a power liftgate with the split design, so the key will just open up the upper section. From there, you can push on this button and you can lower the rest of what I'll call it the tailgate. So what I like about this is that it actually separates you from the bumper, so you can load and unload items without being right up against the bumper. This gives you an ample amount of space. There's even the spare tire underneath, with a little bit of storage if you need to use it. There's a cubby on each side too, some hooks. We have the cover as well. You can even fold down the back seats. That gives you a lot more room. Now you can close these individually, or you can close them together. With the push of one button, it's nice to see, and with that line running right through the middle, it's not really out of place. So it gives it a nice look. Now, what I love about this is that you can actually lock and unlock this with the rear door handles. So it's very convenient to have. We have the Tartufo leather for the interior, ambient lighting, carbon fiber, Bowers & Wilkins audio sound system. There's even the manual adjustment for that sunshade. And at 5'10", making my way into these back seats, it's very, very roomy for this SUV. You can hook up some tablets and charge them too. So if you're on a long trip, you have access to that. There's storage, all the climate adjustments, heated seats are right in the middle, a little bit of storage space, and a 12-volt at the very bottom. There's an armrest in the middle. It has some hidden storage space. There's 2 cup holders as well. And you can even fold the middle seat down. So by pulling on this tab, if you have some longer items, you can easily place those through, which is nice to see. This has the full Alcantara headliner and a good amount of visibility, a lot of glass for this SUV. Now, the front door panel is finished off just like the rear. All the window controls, the side mirrors are power adjusting. There's a release for the liftgate. This even has massaging seats, the memory seating adjustments too, more brushed aluminum, and a lot of space. The M50i badge is also an illuminating badge. Pretty cool to see that. Along with the design for these front seats, they're automatic, so all those adjustments are down on the side. And in the interior now, full leather steering wheel, heated as well. There's the M badge underneath it. Let's bring this M50i back to life. So that is finished off in crystal for that button. And you'll see there's a massive digital gauge cluster. A lot of information to go through. You can see the navigation, which I love on BMWs, is always there. And then on that right side, you can go through more information just depending on what you'd like to see. It's not really that configurable, but honestly, I love this system. It gives you everything that you need and nothing more. On this right side, volume and tuning adjustments along with Bluetooth, cruise control on the left side, brushed aluminum steering wheel mounted paddle shifters to match the rest of the brushed aluminum. All the headlight, parking light adjustments are on this left side, and a little bit of storage. You can place your phone there if you wanted to, maybe some other smaller items as needed. This has leather on the dash, heads-up display, a nice infotainment system that has a lot of information to go through. Home screen is very nice. You can configure this too. Put some widgets there that you'd like to use so you can have everything in one spot. Left side is all of the presets, and you can go through a lot of the driving information. You have your vehicle status to monitor. If we go back into car, it's much easier to use the dials down below, I feel like, to go through this. But if you want to use it as a touchscreen system, you have the option to do that. And if we go all the way back to vehicle status, which actually we were just in, you can go through a lot more info like the driving modes. You have the interior lighting, exterior lighting. You can go into the climate controls too. So it's nice to have all this usable information. You can even go into the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I know that is very big with buyers today. There's other apps that you can install. So it's nice to have that. More carbon underneath that, 2 air vents, and a shortcut to some of the safety tech like the forward collision, lane departure, active blind spot. I love how the climates are separated from that upper screen. You can quickly go through those. You can go through the heated seats, the rest of the climates, defrosters, and everything like that. Power and volume for the radio is just underneath that with tuning and all of the presets. And underneath this carbon fiber trim piece, we have the wireless charging pad, storage space, USB 12 volt, 2 cup holders. This model even has the easy access entry card that you can use instead of the key fob. So if you're going to the lake or something, you can use that and not get your key wet. On the left side of all those controls, we have the shifter finished off in crystal, and this model has all of the exterior cameras to give you that 3D view. So you have no shortage of visibility surrounding this entire SUV. Perfect to have, especially for the size, even a top-down view if you need to use it. Left side is traction control, a shortcut to the forward-facing camera. So if I push on that again, you can see that up here. And then we have engine start-stop feature, parking sensors, a few different driving modes too. So just depending on how you'd like to drive this, you can quickly get that set up between those 3 different modes. There's a hill descent control in case you want to take this off-road. Auto hold, parking, the electronic parking brake, I should say. Good amount of storage in that split armrest. So yeah, we got the X5M, we got the full moonroof, we got the dome lights, some call buttons. Let's get this out on the road. And so we'll drop it to second gear now. Mild acceleration, we are up to speed. I love how incredibly quick these paddles are. For an SUV, you really wouldn't think that it had that performance to it, but BMW does a great job, in my opinion, transferring their performance from their sports cars, some of their sedans, into a giant SUV like this. Now, this isn't the biggest SUV, of course. You can go with the X7, but for the size and the weight of it, it handles very, very nicely. So we're down to 4th gear around this turn, and I mean, you can feel it slightly. You're not going to be taking this, pedal to the floor around corners, but it definitely has those characteristics to get you around turns. I love how we have the nav so you can see what turns are coming up, and you can be better prepared to take this through some of the twisty turns if you'd like to throw that at this X5. There's no wind noise, there's no road noise. Massive trucks like that, kind of what you would expect in a sense. It's definitely going to give you that ride that you're looking for. Now, I want to talk about visibility too real briefly, because this is a pretty good size SUV, but honestly, I really don't have any blind spot issues. Now, it might vary from person to person, but if you have your mirrors set up right, you have your camera system, you really don't have any blind spots, which I like for the size of it. It's very, very maneuverable, parking lot situations where it's going to be a lot, driveways, things like that. It is definitely so nice. Currently have these sport displays on so you can see the G's we're pulling around that turn, and some of that other vital information if that is important for you. But yeah, the BMW X5 I think is a good all-around SUV for the size, the performance capabilities that you can get. You can go down to the X drives if you don't want all of this power, of course, and a little bit less expensive of an SUV. And we'll give it one last acceleration. Definitely a fun, sporty SUV. I wish I could get on it a little bit more here, but if you're in the market for an SUV, definitely check out the X5 M50i. And that is going to wrap it up for my time with this 2023 SUV. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a huge thumbs up if you did, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.